Welcome to Talk Topeka. I'm your host, Danette Wallace. I am so thrilled today because I have my personal role model, Curtis Pitts, here from Faith and Hard Works Ministry. Curtis Pitts, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm thrilled to have you on the show. Curtis Pitts is probably one of the hardest working men in Topeka, period. But I really wanted to have him on the show so that you could hear some of the great things that he's doing in our city, not to mention what he's doing with our youth. So Curtis, why don't you share a little bit with us about what you're doing here with the teens? I know right now we're at Salvation Army, but I also know you do some other things at other centers here locally. So why don't you share with us what you do?
Well, first of all, we're really excited about the partnership we have with the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
They created this new facility. They have some great programs that gives us an opportunity to provide additional services to our community.
Right.
And we're excited because, a lot of people invest in other parts of the city, but they chose to make this a hub.
Right.
And it's a center that's competitively, structurally with any other facility here in town. So we appreciate the work.
Yeah.
Many classrooms, full gym. It's really exciting. So when we started this program here within this partnership, we call it the Emergency Plan for Deviating Youth Violence in Shawnee County. And over the years, we found that as a society and as a community, that if we continue to wait for someone else to do it, then we'll start to lose more and more young folks. Last year, we saw that we set a homicide record here in Topeka, Kansas.
Yes.
And so we took it upon ourselves to create a partnership with the Salvation Army, the YWCA, Heartland Works, Topeka Workforce Center, and various agencies here within our community to provide services and programs to young people who might not be getting them or feel comfortable in going other places. Right. So what we do here at the Salvation Army, we're in our initial phases here. We do recreation, of course, but we'll have college prep programs, we'll have some academic support programs, and some of the things that the Salvation Army already have in place, we're just going to piggyback on and partner with. We have as a partner Kansas State University, the College of Agriculture, and the main objective is to create tangible hope for our young folks. So we have a late night program on the first Saturday of each month. We're here at the Salvation Army. It's for all ages. They come in at 6:30 and they stay until 11 o'clock. We provide snacks and meals for them. Also at the YMCA, we do the same thing. We're just there 3 times a month, and we appreciate both of those organizations giving us facilities.
Yeah.
But at the heart of our program is Faith and Hard Works Ministry. Our concept is that faith without works is dead. We can sit around and complain about what the city and the county is not doing for us, but as a society and a community, we realize that it's necessary that we take the responsibility to initiate our own growth and gathering here in the eastern and central part of the city. Also, we have over at 12th and Washington, we have a farm program. It's an urban farming program. We have built our own amphitheater, and we show movies out in the community for the kids during the summertime. And that came about because we always heard about, well, there's no movie theater over in eastern Topeka. And I said, let's quit complaining about it. Let's just build an outdoor movie theater. So we put out the bills of hay, and we show movies, second-run movies, and it's really exciting. Also, with that concept, we're creating an outdoor incubator concept where we're encouraging minority-owned businesses to come over and set up shop, sell food, and trying to stimulate the economy from the grassroots concept. All over our nation, we're hearing about the millions of dollars and billions of dollars that's been invested in low-income areas, and we just got so tired of the money being taken off of the top and a little bit of it coming to the community that we said we'll invest in ourselves. The most powerful thing that we have is the concept of sweat equity. That's the thing that I wanted to talk to you about. And you remember that yourself growing up as a kid in my program.
Yes.
Neighborhood cleanup.
We used to do everything.
Yes.
But I think that instilled in me a lot of values that I still use today. Now, you mentioned, not complaining and not waiting on the community. But I know to do all of these projects and all these programs, there's some need there. So what all do you need, Curtis? I mean, how can we as Topeka support you in what you do ministry-wise?
Well, the thing that we were excited about was that we wanted to make sure that we're almost economically depleting ourselves before we ask someone else to give us a hand and take the responsibility. The goal and the objective is to say that we're going to do everything we possibly can for ourselves. and
Yes.
then we'll ask the community to help us.
Yes.
That's been historically, that's been the way of the African American community. When things were segregated and we couldn't go places, our parents built movie theaters and hotels and skating rings in the community so that the kids would not go without. And when they went other places, they didn't feel as though they were inferior. But right now, we're at the point now where we need volunteers, we need tutors, we need bus drivers, and sometimes we just need, the reality, we just need dollars so that we can take the kids to programs and we can take and help. As much as the Salvation Army is doing for us and the why, we've got to be able to put something back into their economic coffers, because to turn these lights on, it isn't free.
That's right.
And I had to learn that a long time ago. We've tried to self-finance for years, and it's been really effective. And as you can see over at 21st in Washington, that go to Topeka, the Chamber, Washburn University is actually putting in a tangible, real technical school over there called Washburn Tech West.
Yes.
And that's because we believe that they're seeing that the community, as a group, as a whole, we're investing in ourselves and we're believing in ourselves. And as I told young people around the city and adults, that once you start trying to help yourself, it makes it easier for other people to help you.
Yes.
And again, we do need dollars, volunteers, tutors, and we need chaperones for trips and the educational activities we're having.
And a lot of that is going to increase coming into the summer months.
Definitely.
Right now, I've had the pleasure of participating in some of the events that Curtis has done here at the Salvation Army and at the YWCA. And there's a bunch of kids. I mean, we're talking 80 to 100 kids easy. So the work is there. The volunteers are needed. Don't ever think that whatever you can or can't do, it should be a deterrent. You should just come, because these kids are grateful and they're thankful to have somebody in their lives. So, Curtis, again, everything that you do is so important, and I couldn't imagine not having you as a role model in my life. And it's very exciting to come back to Topeka and see you still, after being gone for some years, I'm not going to say how long, but to see you still working in a capacity with children and making a difference and impacting lives. So that is to be commended. Thank you again for joining us on Talk Topeka. We appreciate everything that you do, and anything that Talk Topeka can do to support you, we want to make sure that we do.
We thank you guys for applying your skills and your sweat equity and actually, rolling up your sleeves and getting involved.
Well, and one more thing, I always like to ask this, just for our viewers here at Talk Topeka. What word of, you're so good with wisdom, what word of advice would you like to leave with our audience today?
Never assume that someone is your enemy, and always take that opportunity to reach out and ask someone how they're doing and listen to what they say.
That's good.
Because people have things to say and people are hurting and they need to share, and we need to receive and reciprocate that relationship.
That's good. Well, you heard it right here on Talk Topeka from Curtis Pitts, Faith and Hard Works Ministry. And just remember, do a good deed. Come out, volunteer, give of yourself, give of your time, even if it's just 2 hours. Thank you again for joining Talk Topeka. I'm your host again, Danette Wallace. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Let's talk Topeka.